You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast, where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnnie.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 166.
166, I'm Jimmy Qtron today.
I saw what you did there. I like that. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated, the podcast. Twitter is Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat the Podcast. And our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And please be sure to check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there.
Yes, sir. And if you want to follow us individually, I'm the Mind of Ralph on Instagram and Twitter.
On Twitter, I'm JON, 2 underscores, the letter B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. Holla at us.
Johnny,
My guy.
brother.
Yes.
How are you doing on this wonderful Sunday?
Well, I don't know if the listeners can hear, but your boy's a little nasally. Slightly under the weather, but, you know, we had to come here and give y'all this content anyway.
Big facts. He wasn't going to miss this week.
Nah.
Any other week, he would have hit me like, hey, bro.
Y'all know what's up. Look, I can't find my Kamoya bees. I wore them shits. But yeah, it's lit, bro. I'm good. Outside of feeling nasally, feeling like Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider in the head, I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good, bro. Like, I just had a crazy, nasty joke that went through my head. But, you know what? We'll say that for off air. It was going to be wild. Like, it was going to be wild. I was just like, you know what? Whoa, Ralph.
Yep.
Scale that one back.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
That's what happens when he wear his sets colors.
Look. Hey, man. Well, you know, Founders Day, 111 years, is coming up on November 17th of 2022. This Thursday. You know, I just, you know, for the people in their viewing pleasures on YouTube, I had to give them a little something. But, you know, I'm proud of my fraternity. I love Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, not above my family and friends and God, but still, I love my fraternity.
Understood. No, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, man. But, I mean, it's cool, man. We got a lot going on this week, so, bro, like, I'm happy to kind of get a break from that, you know, just the work of everything. Because I think people misconstrue that is all, you know, play. I was like, hey, man, that's cool. That's, you know, is that what you see? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of negative stereotype about D9 organizations that all people do is party and, you know, hit people with paddles. I don't know nothing about that life. I'm just saying, like, it's
no, it's true. It's true. You are correct.
True, but it's a lot of community services that goes down into the fraternity, and then on that business side, all the backpack giveaways and, you know, community service blood drives and all that stuff. Those people do work, and I just want people to really highlight that and really see that too. Shout out to the ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Their centennial day was yesterday. The reason I'm even shouting them out is because, like, I had some great educators in District 189 that were ladies of that beloved sorority. Dr. LeBrona J. Morris.
Yes.
Hey, salute to her. Tommy Randolph. I'm forgetting one. Miss Bird too, my bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like them the OGs, man, and I love them. And it wasn't like they just, you know, oh, I'm this, I'm that. They were great teachers. They were great women. They were great educators. They were great leaders, and they just happened to be a part of that.
That's what's up,
man. So salute to those women, man.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but sororities and fraternities, those are service-based organizations. I mean, yeah, you know, you got the whole party aspect and all that good stuff, but they were founded off of service to our community.
Service and civil rights.
Yeah, man. So that's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to the secret organization.
Ah!
I love it.
Hey, man, what we doing? Off the dome?
Off the dome.
Ooh, I got one. Might take you a little time to think about it, but I got you, bro.
Shit.
I was thinking the other day, you know, we watch all this sci-fi stuff and, you know, create a nigga in the lab, you know, all that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Create your perfect rapper using attributes of other famous rappers.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give you the attributes. You
see, that's
now,
what I was coming.
That would pigeonhole you if I said, "Hey, it's got to be this." You know what I'm saying? No, do your thing.
So we talking like
you
cadence, technique.
Whatever your preference of attributes of making this rapper is.
Okay.
I made it worse for you by giving you your own way.
At least tell me how many attributes.
Just stick to 3 or 4.
Okay.
Bro.
Okay.
We don't have that type of time.
That's what I'm saying. Shit. This is hella open ended. Hold on.
I know, right?
This is like one of them essay questions on the review. You have to write an essay from scratch on the test. Anyway. All right. 3 attributes, right?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Whoo.
I got you, right.
I'm
gonna make mine real quick.
Okay, cool.
Just the style, appearance, and swag, Pimp C. I want my rap to be like him. Rapping wise, we can go like some. Since we go get to him later, Nas. I want him to rap like Nas. And then like on beat selection, I want him to have an ear like Rick Ross. Boom, done. We're done. Like I don't have too much else to think about.
Cause you thought about it before.
Well, that's
before this.
Hey man, I'll give you more credit than this. I feel like you be thinking about stuff like this. You just can't come.
Yeah, because it's off the dome. Like, I can't just pull it out of there. All right, so, attribute of longevity. Can that be an attribute?
Yeah. Hey,
I'm going Jay-Z.
Okay.
If we go attribute of style, flow, cadence, can I do more than one? I want it to be
just one.
Damn. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I stick to one because you already giving them superpowers.
It's true.
Or her. You know what I'm saying?
Or
her. Respect.
I'm going. Oh my God, so many different ways I can go. I'm gonna go Twister. Cadence, flow, all that. I'm going Twister. Right. So longevity, cadence and flow,
Twister,
swag, appearance, all that good stuff. I'm gonna go Run DMC. Now and the reason I say Run DMC because they were fresh, but like it was minimalist. Like they didn't have to do a lot of flashy stuff when they was hot, and I liked it. So I'm gonna go Run DMC.
Okay, that's your 3 then.
That's crazy.
All right.
That's crazy. All right. So for my off the dome, Dave Chappelle just hosted SNL last night.
Okay.
Actually, a fire show. I watched it early today. And he had a sketch that I think you would like. It was a House of the Dragon sketch, but had a lot of his iconic characters from the Chappelle Show in it.
I gotta go watch it as soon as we get off, bro.
It was great. This shit was great.
Okay.
But it got me to thinking, Chappelle Show is like 20 years old or will be 20 years old next year, which is insane to really think about, right?
Yeah.
So just thinking back on Chappelle Show, which ironically I've been watching like the last like couple weeks on Netflix just because. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yes.
Like I need to know favorite Chappelle Show sketch.
The Player Haters Ball, and it's not even close. Silky Johnson.
Man, what? Going crazy. And a follow-up when they traveled. The player hater, the time traveling haters. Man, what? Come on now. That's not my answer, but that's a fire follow-up. That's okay. That's okay. No, that player haters.
I'm trying not to like start quoting like
magnificent chef's kiss, right? Now, one of my favorites, and I feel like one that's really underrated, the Wrap It Up button sketch.
Oh, Wrap It Up B, yeah.
Oh my God, I love this sketch so much, man. That one, and then Black George Bush. Bush.
Yeah, Black Bush was funny. It was funny as hell. Oh, bitch, you cooking? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
man, shout out to Dave Chappelle, man, giving us that show that has lasted 20 plus years. Like it's amazing. The fact that he's still able to use those characters today in modern sketch comedy
and people still gravitate towards it.
Man,
now that's salute to Dave, man.
And Black Star was the musical guest.
On that show I heard about that. Yeah,
man. That's what's up.
That was off the dome, people. If you can create your perfect rapper using 3 attributes, what would they be, and who would you use?
Yep, and we got to know 20 years later, what is your favorite Chappelle Show sketch? Let us know.
OS Gang, what's happening? What's up, family and kinfolk? We got a few topics here on the docket.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a lot because we got a lot of topics here. It's like they all they don't really go together. Hence oversaturated. But we'll start on the sad and somber tip. Rest in peace to Kevin Conroy, the famed voice actor that voiced Batman of the animated series. Johnny died at the age of 66. Johnny, what do you have for that?
Listen, man, I just want to say rest in peace to the legendary, the GOAT Batman himself. Kevin Conroy is Batman, even though he only played a live action version of Bruce Wayne one time on like the CW shows. But he's voiced Batman in countless animated movies, TV shows, video games. I think he might have voiced Batman on like a podcast or something too, or maybe guest feature or something like that too. So as a man that grew up loving comic books, loving the character Batman, he was my introduction to what Batman sounded like, and has basically been Batman my entire life. Yeah, there have been other people to play the voice of Batman, to play Batman in live action, of course, but that to me, Kevin Conroy is Batman. So yeah, I just wanted to say rest in peace to him because he was a big part of my comic book journey as a nerd. So definitely got to say rest in peace to Kevin Conroy, man.
Oh yeah, definitely rest in peace. Johnny said pretty much everything that I could say. Rest in peace to an icon, somebody that voice lives on throughout. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of dope to have that attached to your resume. Like people, a voice actor's job is very, very interesting. You have to emote. You have to, your voice has to be the star of the show. You know what I'm saying? Alongside what the animators do. So, no, Kevin Conroy is a him.
Word.
And he's been a him for a long time. Arguably one of the best versions. Like people said, the GOAT before this tragedy happened.
Big
fact that he was able to bring out life into the fictional character of Bruce Wayne and Batman, and people just will love it so much. Arguably one of the best cartoons we've ever seen.
Yes, sir. Ain't really nothing else you can say, man.
Nothing else to say on that, man. So, no, salute, man. I don't know. Let's get into this rap bag, man.
Okay.
Snoop Dogg. Calvin Brodus. Some might know him as Snoop Dogg, Snoop Doggy Dogg, Dogfather. I don't know, Snoop Lion.
Snoop Lion.
I don't know. That's funny. But Universal Pictures has actually greenlit a biopic, a big screen biopic for the hip-hop icon. Johnny, what do you have for this?
Unless this biopic is like 4 hours, I don't know if it's gonna be like enough. I feel like Snoop is like 50 something.
He's somewhere between 47 and 50.
Think of just imagine even outside of rap, right? Because we know outside of music, outside of Snoop's music career, because he's done so much in music, not only rap but reggae and other genres as well. Think about everything he's done outside of rap, entertainment aspect, TV shows, movies, things like that. How do you fit an entertainer like Snoop's life in a 2.5 hour biopic? I feel like this should be like a series or something.
Okay. No, I get what you're saying. I think you want it to be more like a series, like an episodic type of thing, rather than it going on the screen. But Snoop can get his coin if it go on screen. Like, man, real.
No, it's facts. It's facts.
But I think of it in this way, right? It's going to be more of a period piece. It's going to stop at a certain point. I think it's probably going to definitely hone in on the murder was the case years, like the death row years. Like those are probably the most intriguing, the most intriguing story about Snoop. Obviously, before when he's making his rise as a star. So I think that's probably it'll be like a Straight Outta Compton type.
Okay.
Like something like that. Like it's gonna stop at like a point where he's just like, oh, aftermath. Like you know what I'm saying? He's gonna do that.
like Straight Outta Compton. What you gonna call it? I'm gonna call it aftermath.
Like some MCU shit.
Very cliche.
Right. He's gonna be like, where you going now? No limit.
That's funny. And then Lay Low play in the background. Damn, that's funny.
I know.
No, this is dope. I mean, if any entertainer in the music business especially hip hop deserves a biopic, Snoop is definitely top of the list because the man's career is illustrious. Like the fact that we was speaking about longevity earlier, the fact that he's able to still basically do what he wants to do in music. He just dropped the Gangsta Grills. Like it's dope. Like it's dope. So I'm looking forward to this because I mean, I was alive, back then, but I was a kid, so I don't really know the ins and outs of what really happened. So I would love to see it, played out.
Well, they got the Menace to Society directors directing this. Is it the Hughes brothers? The Hughes brothers.
Okay.
So that's interesting within itself. They have a level of catching that grittiness of the street. If you're going off Menace to Society, you know what I'm saying. So that's dope. I'm just curious to know who they're going to cast in this. I know Lakeith Stanfield was casted as him in Straight Outta Compton.
Right. Okay.
So I don't think you necessarily spend a block and get Lakeith, but then again, wouldn't be a bad choice.
Right. Create their own cinematic universe of Snoop life. Multiverse. I don't know. Variants. I don't know.
I don't know with that one, but salute. It's dope that this is happening. We're getting another adaptation of someone that is able to tell their story.
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
Right.
Snoop can tell his own story, and no one can makeshift it in any other way. It's his story, so it'll be good to see it. I wouldn't say I'm overly excited, but I'm would definitely watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe a trailer would change my mind.
Got you. Now, if this is a theatric release, you going to see it in theaters? It changed your perception.
Because I was seeing so many death row documentaries and stuff like that. I don't know how you can dance this up for me.
It's from Snoop's perspective. I don't know.
You're right, but it's just I don't watch Welcome to Death Row. I don't watch all the Tupac joints. I don't watch them joints. So it's kind of like
it will be interesting to see if any of the story points change from Snoop's perspective.
Well, it's always that's a good
and
point. That's a good
and
point.
if it does, and
That's
if they do
point.
change, how much has changed? Is it just a singular plot point where maybe he went right and didn't go left, or maybe he took $1 million instead of $10 million from Sugar? Something big and small like that. How would that change the trajectory of the story that we know of Death Row and Snoop? Just a curiosity point.
Well, no, I get you, but sticking to movie news, let's talk about this. Tom Holland has signed another big contract with Sony Pictures for a 6-picture deal with for Spider-Man to reprise his role as Spider-Man. Johnny, what do you have for that?
I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy they didn't recast Spider-Man. I'm happy that we still get Spider-Man in the MCU in phases, I guess 5 and 6. Possibly 7, I don't know. But with a 6-picture deal, 3 of those are Spider-Man movies off top. I'm sure of that. Two more are probably the Avengers movies, Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. And then I'm hearing that he's supposed to play in the Daredevil series. Now, that I'm not too sure about, because I feel like maybe a cameo, but I don't think he'll be a regular.
It won't be Daredevil and Spider-Man teaming up.
Nah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I could. Only because the character Spider-Man and Tom Holland, they're so, they're the theater characters, they're theatric characters. So I don't know how often Tom Holland will show up in a Disney Plus TV series.
Fair point, but they cut them checks. He getting paid by 2 companies,
Sony and Marvel.
Hey man, run me my money. So I don't know. This is cool. I guess stuff like this is just okay until I actually get trailers. You know what I'm saying? I actually get something tangible. So it's just okay, yeah, that's cool. 6 pictures, huh? That's a lot.
It's a whole lot.
That's a lot.
That's
my
a
boy,
whole
ain't he 30?
If not, he damn near close to it.
And I know he was complaining. Hey, they must have gave him a blank check, because it was at a point he was like, "Oh, I want to be Spider-Man," and then Uncharted.
I remember that. No, he saw what Uncharted did.
It
was
you know what?
You know
Peter
what?
Parker ain't that bad.
I spoke too soon.
Right. It's okay. Forgive me.
That's crazy. But I think this is great news. I mean, Tom Holland I feel like he played Peter Parker, Spider-Man really, really, really well. My favorite of the 3 Spider-Man that we know.
Yeah.
So I think this is great. It's only a matter of time before we see exactly how they how they use the character, what role he plays in the upcoming phases in the MCU.
Yeah,
who knows?
How does he move forward? Is he like a OG to the Young Avengers and stuff like that?
I don't know because nobody knows him.
That is true.
Remember? So I don't know. That's true. And I was reading something else like. I wonder if it's just the people that were on Earth that were affected by that spell that Doctor Strange cast. So, like, Nick Fury was off-world, right? So what if Nick Fury comes back and he still, like, he knows who Spider-Man is, but nobody else does. So, it's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I know. That made my head spin, man. Speaking of my head spinning, man, Nicki Minaj dropped an egregious quote. She said that she wants to hear women rap again. Johnny, the queen of rap, on Nicki Minaj, came out and said that, hey, these women need to rap. What you got for that?
I don't know where she been because there are plenty of women in 2022 and shit, the last few years actually, they have really, really, really been rapping. So I'm not sure where like Nicki got that quote from or why she even feels that way. Like her ear is clearly not to the streets. I don't know what's going on with Nicki Minaj. She's been going through a lot recently. So I don't know. I literally have no idea.
I gotta pick my words carefully with this, right? Because the barbs are the barbs. That's all.
Treacherous.
It's weird because Nicki birthed a lot of what we see today in mainstream women rap. The image. I mean, her image is not necessarily original, but you know what I'm saying? Like those young girls looked up to her as a mainstream inspiration. So if you got the City Girls, you got Lotto, you got Glorilla, you got certain kids out here because they are kids compared to her. Like you know what I'm saying? Like. Of course. I don't get what she means by that. I think you would be honored, and then you don't collab with them. You don't mentor them. Like if anything, you berate them in public. So that's not necessarily queen-like behavior if you're really trying to keep the torch of women rap going. Right. And then if you want to see women rap, hop on them tracks with them bar spitters. Hop on the track, like hop on the track with a Rhapsody. Hop on the track with Shay Noir. Hop on the track with Tierra Whack. Hop on the track, like
come
keep
on
going.
Now, Flo Milli,
like
Lotto.
Keep going. Shit. Like Lotto, her and Lotto had the biggest back and forth. Like obviously, like Lotto wasn't like, all right, I respect you, but we ain't finna keep doing this. Like,
right. Cause I don't know, man. So I'm reading this quote. This quote, the actual quote from Nicki Minaj when she did her interview with JT, right? Okay. It says, "I want to hear girls rap again, like just rap. When I did my BET cypher years ago, I purposely didn't wear revealing clothes." Nicki said, "I wore a sweatsuit, so even though we were being super freaky girls on the song, trash, and we all had fun, y'all really spit."
She talking about the song.
I know that's like two different quotes. Cause she mentioned the BET cipher where she wore a sweatsuit, right?
Mm-hmm. That was back like what? 09? That was like 2009.
Close enough. It might have been a year or something.
Might have been 2010.
But I remember that cipher because I think Joe was in that cipher too, and somebody else. But I remember that cipher, and she was spitting. Now, do you think like what she's saying has any effect for today? Like, are there any women that are out there like really, really spitting that's not like
what that has the super sexualized image? Is that what we're going with?
Or not having the super sexualized image?
Yeah, well, we just named those women that do, but they don't have the mainstream reach that
Nicki did.
Nicki, Lotto, City Girls, any of those have.
Right.
Or Flo Milli. I mean, not Flo Milli, but even Glorilla. They don't have that.
It's just true.
Which is, hey, it is what it is. The industry pitches or picks what they want to promote. So that's just kind of like it is what it is. But Nicki, if you are in this position, you have enough power, cachet to change narratives. Right. So if you want to do that, you start rapping then.
Okay, I was about to say.
Like, nah, but you made Super Freaky Girl.
That you mad they taken out of the pop category or put in the pop category or something like that.
I get it, but
nah.
The only reason I get it is because Nicki hasn't won a Grammy, and you think as a woman rapper it'd be kind of easy, for her, her to win one.
You would think, but nah. Because I feel like at this point she feels like the Grammys should just give her one, kind of like they did. Well, no, I don't want to say like they did Nas because he deserved it when he won.
No, he actually deserved it.
He deserved that.
He deserved it.
But that was his first Grammy in his 20+ year career, right? So
that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But she has made songs like the difference between her and Nas, right? She has made songs that purposely put her in Grammy conversations, and she never got one.
Got you.
That's the difference.
Got you.
Super Bass and the songs she do with all them pop stars, that don't get you one. Like that's where she coming from. And it's like them songs ain't gotta be for us. They was always for them.
And I guess I can't be mad at that perspective, but why bring that to the rap girls? Because the rap girls doing their thing. Because maybe she ain't seen it, or she don't care to see it, or what?
Nicki is a bully, man. She don't really care about them girls like that because they ain't kissing her ass every 5 minutes.
And they're going to continue to not kiss her ass, and that's why she upset.
I mean, like you got Cardi, you got all these other women out here that are flourishing, seemingly off of your sweat equity, but it was just because it was just you for a long time.
And that's the point that I keep making. Like, you know, there was a period where she was running off all stats. I'm the first woman in rap history to be on the chart 37,000 weeks, like all that kind of stuff. She rattled stats off for like 5 years. But Nicki, you the only woman mainstream hip hop artist for like 10 years. But now we have plenty. Mm-hmm. And she probably still mad because Cardi, she's still out here off of one album. Going crazy, but Cardi gets along with the rap women. You see how quick she jumped on that Glorilla shit?
And Nicki should be able to. I mean, Nicki doesn't have to, but you would think that if you want to keep this torch going, take from, not even say Jay-Z, take from your boy Drake, your label mate, your bro, his POV. He sees somebody hot. Let me go hop on this song with Migos and everybody else. Like, let me do that. Yes, sir. Nicki does features, but she doesn't do them with women rappers. You'll do it with women, but not women rappers.
Right.
Why Jessie J and Ariana Grande get Nicki Minaj features?
Right. And I wonder what it is with Nicki that's keeping her from doing that. Because I mean, I don't really think it's that difficult. Because if Nicki Minaj called Lotto, if she called Glorilla, if she called whoever, mm-hmm. they would be happy and willing to. Well, maybe not now, but before all the controversy, right? Yeah. They would have been happy to get a feature from Nicki Minaj because it's Nicki Minaj. That's who they grew up watching, listening to.
Well, hey man, when your idols become your rivals, this is part of it. This is the issue.
That's crazy. You die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
I know it's crazy, man. It's wild, man. It's almost like a sickness, man. But it's diseases going on around here. And King Disease 3 just came out. We have Nasir Jones, King Nasir, Goat Nasir, whatever you want to call him, just dropped his 4th Hit Boy album, but his 3rd installment of the King Disease series. Johnny, what do you have for this album?
Honestly, I have no idea where to start.
Mm-hmm.
But let me just start by saying,
let's do this.
Fish is ready. How old is Nas? 40 something ish, close to 50, right? Why is Nas still rapping at this ability at the age that he is?
His adult age, his big age.
His big age.
He's 49.
Nas is 49 years old and just put out the 3rd installment of the King's Disease album series that arguably might be the best. Maybe it's recency bias, I don't know. But could be the best out of the 3. And the first 2 wasn't no hope. What is Nas doing? Nas is already a multi-millionaire. He done invested in hella shit and got him over $100 million.
He's probably a billionaire. Probably close to it. He just don't want to talk about it.
Man, what?
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Like, I don't understand the motivation behind him putting out such great music. Mm-hmm. Or what was the other joint? Magic?
That's what I said. The fourth in his Hit Boy album run, but 3rd in the King Disease series.
Like, insane that I feel like every album has increasingly gotten better. This is the 4th album in I guess 4 years maybe. Like
I don't even feel like it's been 4.
Like this is
has it been 4? Because King's Disease 2 came out the same year as Magic. Remember? Wasn't it like that?
Was it the
Magic came out like in December last year. So this is like his 4th album in 3 years.
That's insane. That's insane. Hold on. Try to see the year it came out. No Google. I don't want to sign in. 2020.
2 years. King's Disease came out in 2020.
Wow, 4 albums.
So two albums last year. Is Magic an album? Yes.
Yeah.
Magic's an album.
I'm gonna call it an album.
Magic's an album.
This is a great album. King's Disease 3 is a great album.
Yes. Nasir, I don't know. I don't know what man. What did we do? What did I do? Because I was talking shit for a long time. Like, what did I do? But no, man. This album is really, really good. The only gripe or only shortcoming that I would say, right, and it's merely a nitpick, I think it's missing a feature or two. Because there's no features.
You know what?
Because the album is kind of long, and then some of the songs are like 2 minutes, so that feels like it's missing like a verse that could have been there. Like one point that I want to point out, like 30, Nas went crazy. Nas went crazy on the album, but 30, he was popping big boy. I've been here for 30 summers shit. That's what he said. Yes, like sir. I've been here for 30 summers. Think about that. That's crazy for a rapper to say that, and it's like, oh, he really has been, and we don't look at him as a has been.
Facts.
So I feel like I ain't saying like I don't know who he could have got on there with him, but that's like it's like either needed another verse or just needed a feature somewhere.
That's interesting you mentioned that because I think I got through the entire album maybe 3 times, maybe 2.5, 2 or 3 quarters or something like that. I didn't even realize there was no features. That's how good to me this album was. Like I didn't realize there was nobody else's vocals on this album.
Like I said, merely a nitpick. Not like an indictment of the album, but it's just like you can tell certain songs is like 2 minutes. So I mean, it kind of bleeds into what these songs are these days, right? They're not full 3 minute and 30-second songs.
Right.
Song, hell, 30 might have been like 2 minutes and 19 seconds.
That's insane. But see, that also speaks to not only is Nas still rapping at the ability that he's rapping, right? That also shows that he's able to adapt to what music really is today, especially in hip hop. Like you said, songs are not 3 minutes 30 seconds anymore. You don't have 3 verses, and 3 hooks. You don't have that.
No, you don't.
He's adapting to what the climate is in the streaming era, which I don't know if we've seen a lot of elder statesmen in hip hop that have been able to do that effectively. Not saying that
they haven't been doing it, but it's different
at this level, right?
It's different.
Okay, so let's get right to it. Some of your favorite tracks.
I'll say this. What's the song that has the 5 heartbeat sample?
Ooh,
is it legit, or is it Thun? I think it's legit. That's it.
Yeah, legit.
If he had kept Eddie, if he kept like letting him howl throughout the song, it was about to get skipped. I was like, that is annoying. That is annoying as fuck. Like niggas like, oh my god, this sample's great. No, the fuck it wasn't. Like that shit was annoying.
That's
like, it was
funny.
It was cool because it's like it drowned out Nas's voice as the instrument on the song.
Yeah,
so it's like I can't get with this. And then all of a sudden, if like Hit Boy cut the shit out, I was like, all right. And then I could hear Nas. I was like, hey yo, it was about to get skipped immediately. But Ghetto Reporter, Thun, 30. I mentioned 30. Michael Quincy.
Michael and Quincy, yeah. That's one of my favorites.
What's the joint? Once a Man, Twice a Child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Nas. And then. The bonus track ain't that bad either. The bonus track ain't
Till My Last Breath, yeah.
It was one of those songs. Now this I might have missed. I can't remember what song it was because I was cleaning up when I was listening to it. It had like a drill beat switch up in the middle.
Yeah. Oh man, I know.
That joint went crazy. I was like, I never knew I wanted to hear Nasir on a drill beat, but that went crazy.
No, I feel that.
Listen, man, like that don't make me. It'd be hard not to be like trying to shit on Nas, like, and I don't be trying to shit on. It's just more so fans, like, and like you said, like Nas is not somebody that you just dislike. Like, who dislikes Nas?
Right. No,
Like you can talk about like music, but dislike him though. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel that.
Those are two different things. But nah. What you got? What you got as far as your highlights of the album? Because I already spoke about my lowlights, which are merely nitpicks. Yeah. But what you got?
It's funny because most of the songs that you mentioned are my favorite. Like my absolute favorite song on this entire album is Thun. I feel like Nas went crazy on that song, and the beat is so fire. Like we didn't even talk about Hit Boy yet, but Hit Boy showed his ass. Like Hit Boy been showing his ass, but he really showed his ass, especially with the drill switch up.
That drill switch up was nasty.
I usually don't like it when beats switch up mid song. Like I don't particularly care for that, but that hit.
What you think about the reference to Jay-Z and the beef? That thing.
I thought it was funny. I think a lot of people kind of took that out of context, like they were still beefing. But right. But like just hearing him like being able to refer to a point in time in his career where him and JC really were going back and forth on tracks. It was like, damn, that shit was so hard. I'm gonna get your ass. That's dope. That's dope.
I'm on your helmet still right now. But it wasn't like a indicator of beef. It was just showing that they grown. Yes. Like hey, we done grown past that. But I ran this back the other day. I didn't like this.
But the respect level between the two is there, right?
And that's all. Honestly, we make it worse. It's the fans. It's the fans. It's always the fans.
Always the fans.
They cool. We down here.
But actually, though, okay, real quick. Did you see that Jay-Z posted a picture of himself with his Grammys? Did you see that?
I didn't know. I didn't think about that yet.
Every time.
But that was before though. I don't think
before the album dropped. Yes.
Oh, okay.
When it was announced, we knew the shit was coming out. The picture came out. Every time Nas dropped, Jay-Z do some shit. Every time.
I got that. And I reposted the picture. I didn't think about it. I was just like, talk that shit, whole flex that shit. I didn't think about Nas was coming. I didn't.
Nas was coming. That's how you know Nas coming.
23 of them things. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. We off that. But
damn, that's crazy. Nah, Nas went crazy. I don't understand his motivations. It could be that the fire of loving, the loving of hip hop is still burns through him. That he's able to put out such great albums, man. Like this is nuts.
He said, I mean, pretty much. That's the reason why Michael Quincy hit so hard. Like you know that him and Hit Boy like on that type of run.
Jesus
like
Christ.
That type of run. The only thing is, I wish that more eyes were kind of like on Nas and this. It's kind of like LeBron James right now, right? You know LeBron James is a great player, but right now it's kind of like it's not his season to be the best rapper or the best player in this league. So it's now you stat pad. Now you're going for like all-time records. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It feels like people are not giving it the proper attention that it deserves. That's why I'm saying this about Nas.
Okay.
Because if Nas did this 20 years ago, we'd be having a different conversation.
This is true.
But right now, it's great that he's doing it, and I'm not shortchanging it, or maybe I am. It's just you don't see people just clamoring about these albums the way that they should be praised. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
Especially in a short window.
I hear what you're saying. Like that's a really, really big point. The fact that the first King's Disease came out in 2020, that didn't even click to me, right? Yeah. So it's been 3 years, 4 albums. Like that's insane in itself. But with Nas, because he's been in the game for 30 summers, right?
Yeah.
You know, the attention span of people gets shorter and shorter as life progresses.
That is true.
So I imagine that's part of the reason why this album, this body of work is not getting the recognition it really, really deserves.
And it may be, album sequels just don't hit in the same way. Like the name. Okay. Like people be like, hey man, another one? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey man.
Which is insane because the first 2 are great.
But, people are like that when it comes to like album sequels. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're like, all right, volume 6. Oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not
funny. No, I got you though. You know the craziest thing about this album dropping is
what?
Nas is doing a one-night show of all the King's Disease albums in Madison Square Garden.
Salute. Man.
I think it's in February of next year. I think.
Salute.
But that's That's fire. To be able to do that off of new projects, that's crazy.
Salute, man. Salute to Nas, man. King's Disease 3, man. Phenomenal album. Oh, you can't get away from this. What's your ranking out of 5? I'm tripping.
Recency bias really wants me to put this at like a 4.5, 5. Mm-hmm. But until I can sit with it some more, I'm gonna stay at a 4. Well, that's a bar. Until I can sit with it some more, I'm gonna keep this at a 4.
Either way, you still rhymed.
I know. I meant to say it again.
But no,
I
honestly, man, I hate when we agree. But no, a 4 was actually what I kind of settled on. Like I was like, look, I think this joint is phenomenal. But and I gave Freddie Gibbs a higher rating, but like Freddie Gibbs bars don't take that much for me to decipher. Like, respectfully, like
I'm sorry. That's funny.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
I feel like Nas giving me something that's sticking to my ribs right now. That's why I was like, hey,
it's true.
And plus, I only listened to it one time, like one full listen. Mm-hmm. And can I be honest? Yeah. On the first listen, it was on shuffle, so it fucked me up.
Oh man,
I didn't know.
I hate when that shit
I didn't know. Like I clicked play, I was like, all right, and then I was like, hold on, because I had previously played like the first 2 tracks, and then like when I hit play the second time, the first track played, and then another track played. I was like, wait,
what is this? Yeah, nah, that happened to me with the Tyler album, the Call Me If You Get Lost.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, because I thought that was the sequence, but then I went back and listened to it again. I was like, wait, this ain't right. And yeah, it's fucked me up.
So
damn,
maybe that's I don't know.
Shit. I hate when that happens.
I know, man, but that was King's Disease 3, man. Check that out if y'all can. But one thing we gotta get into, you know why we here. The latest entry into the MCU. The end of Phase 4 is finally here. We have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It dropped. I don't know when it came out because people went to see this thing Wednesday. It was like
Wednesday
Tuesday.
For real? Damn.
Jano, shout out to the homie.
Oh, they sure did. That's crazy.
I know, right?
The official drop date was Friday, but the shit was out 2 days before.
Man, have been 3 days before.
Man,
like people posting pictures Tuesday, but it's okay. We all set.
Neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there. Shit. It's out. The movie has been seen by both parties in this podcast. Mm-hmm. Johnny, your initial reaction to Wakanda Forever?
My initial reaction to Black Panther Wakanda Forever was this was a really, really, really good entry into the MCU. This was a really, really good sequel to Black Panther. Those are my initial thoughts coming out of the theater after seeing Wakanda Forever. Now, what were your initial thoughts?
Good movie.
Okay.
It was a good movie, man. Listen. I've been on this hate train, and it's not even been a hate train. The passion that I had is really because I wanted the film to be good. Yeah. Now that I've seen the film, it lived up to what I needed it to be.
Got you.
I don't know. I didn't know what I was expecting because it was such a curveball. But good film, good sequel. I want to see it again before I just give it too much praise. But off that first one, I was like, oh yeah, I knew probably like an hour in, I was like, oh yeah, this is different than the other shits we've been watching the past 2 years. Like it's been different. Like this is immediately different.
The thing about Black Panther 1 and 2, mm-hmm. even though clearly we know these are Marvel movies, these fit into the universe that is the MCU. Yeah. Watching these movies, they don't feel like Marvel movies. I feel like the only way that we knew this was a Marvel movie, at least Wakanda Forever, right, was Everett Ross was in it. And then there was like a really quick mention to Thanos between Okoye and Nakia. Mm-hmm. That was the only.
Well, I think with Riri too, it felt like Marvel.
Think so? Oh, because the Iron, the Ironheart shit.
I mean, certain things are always going to be evident, right? Like they shoehorn Riri in here, like they shoehorn Peter Parker in Civil War.
And Black Panther.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
True.
But it's not a bad thing. It's just a theme that Marvel does when they want to introduce a character. And it's great that they did it. Like I love the character. I'm just pointing out the themes and what Marvel does with their film.
Got you. And sometimes they do a really good job at it. And sometimes they do not. Hence, America Chavez.
Oh, I thought you was gonna talk about Riri. I was like, oh damn.
Oh no.
Oh no, America Chavez was trash. Like, I mean, not the way she was introduced.
Yeah,
was
that's
trash.
funny. Now I watched some recaps of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people that said Riri Williams did not need to be in the movie. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't really agree because she's the whole reason that the French government found some of the vibranium under the sea. She built the machine. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have her in the movie don't even really matter.
I don't know. That's why I said I need to watch it again. Like, I think that they covered their bases with the writing, and that's what I was on their ass about. Like, please write this. But it's just like, even with Contessa's character, Julia Dreyfus, Elaine from Seinfeld.
Got you.
Ain't her name Contessa Valentine?
Valentina, some shit. Yeah. Now, I was really not expecting to see her.
I wasn't expecting to see her. So I was like, I guess. Like, it was like, it's cool, but it made sense. Like, it's like her and Everett were married. I was like, okay.
That's crazy.
I was like,
random as hell.
It's like, it's random, but I'm rolling. Like, I'm rolling because we got to set up stuff. We got to set up future plays. So I get what's going on here.
Do you understand? So, at least to where my brain goes, the reason she was in the movie is because she's going to get the Thunderbolts to try to get Everett Ross back out of Wakanda and then also try to steal vibranium.
Oh, let's not go that far because we done got off the film. Well, this film opened up beautifully, right? It didn't open up beautifully because it opened up with the death scene. They did they killed off the character T'Challa off screen.
Yes,
because he had a rapidly like disease, like a cancerous type of thing going on in his body, and Shuri was trying to save him. Yep. Did you feel any type of way watching it?
I mean, yes, I did, of course, because that kind of mirrors what
happened in real life.
Chadwick Boseman went through in real life, right? So, of course, I felt for that, but I really appreciate that scene because they got right to the point of why T'Challa the character will not be in this movie, and that was like one of my main things. It's like, we gotta know why, and they gotta tell us quick, and they literally out the gate did that. So I was really, really happy about that, and the funeral scene was directly after. So it was great to be able to.
Credits.
It was great to be able to get past that part so we could actually have the movie. So I thought that was great.
Yeah, it was. I feel like this. I'm conflicted on it, right? Because as a movie goer, I want to see the villain. I want to see him go, but I know it's a real life element to that.
Yeah.
So you gotta be cognizant of that and just be like, all right.
Yeah.
You don't want to kill somebody that's really gone in real life on screen. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
True.
That's a little wild.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So that's the part that conflicts me, right? I know people have the you want to have this humanity element of, Chadwick not being here, and rightfully so. But it's just like, damn, man, my man gone, and we doing it like that. Like, I ain't get to see him. No goodbye. Like, all right, cool.
Right. Now, rewinding a little bit, the title card, the MCU title card. You know how how they really
not trash, but trash.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I was like, oh shit.
Trash in the sense of like,
my man's not here.
We ain't doing no sound, no.
But see, I thought I kind of thought that was
eerie.
powerful though. I
know it was. It's just y'all not listen. I did a good job of not watching this film and crying. Not saying I'm too tough.
No,
not
same.
Not saying I ain't crying in here, but it was just I did a good job because
I feel you on that.
Me and you had these conversations. I did a good job of not letting loose in this movie theater.
So
I
quick question: was there any point in the movie where you did cry? Because I mean, there were plenty of parts where you could have.
It's plenty of parts, but no, I didn't.
One time for me.
Okay, and respect.
One time,
respect.
And even then, like, it's like, damn, I'm crying here, but I ain't crying like in the beginning. Like, it was crazy. So.
I got you, but it's just like you see the funeral scene, and then one thing I do appreciate about this film, right? Most Marvel films have a love story, whether you feel like it's good, forced, or indifferent. This didn't have one. the story was really Shuri getting over her grief and dealing with the she was a scientist that didn't believe in tradition.
These are facts.
But there was no love interest for her. Like her and Namor kicked it. But it wasn't that.
Yeah.
So I thought about that. The main protagonist, if you want to consider Shuri the protagonist of this film, the main protagonist doesn't have a love story, and it worked.
Oh no, it worked beautifully.
Because usually they'll make a nigga fall.
Oh man, what?
A nigga go find some love.
Shit, the whole fucking Thor: Love and Thunder was about him and Jane Foster. The whole movie. Damn, that's insane. So that's a good point. I
was like, ain't nobody really talking about that. But that's a common thing with superhero films. You got to have somebody that bounces off said person to kind of just push the story of a subplot, right?
Right.
The subplots was subplotting. We had plenty. We didn't really need a love story. And then getting to Io and Anika, they were like, they're banning that over in China because of their same-sex relationship, which is barely even mentioned.
Man, what? Did she kiss on the forehead or something? That was it?
At the end of the movie.
That was it. That's
now, I was prepared to be like, oh, that's forced. You know, we had those conversations. But no, there's actually a storyline. Don't give me the line about, which Black Panther's in. I did my research, though.
Talk about it.
I'm just saying, like, that's the thing. I want to understand what I watch. So I go research.
That makes sense.
I just don't make stupid opinions all the time. I don't make stupid opinions off of just like, oh man, they're trying to force the LGBT. Somebody said the eligibility community.
Oh, that's crazy. That's almost as bad as Elemental P.
But no, it's like I'm not on that train.
Right.
But some stuff you be like, nah, I see what's going on here. Yeah. But no, that's really they really about that in the comic book. So it's like, well, if it's on page and it's source material, it's not forced.
Exactly. If
If you want to say it's forced in a 20-page comic book, be my guest.
Right.
Like, I don't know, but
and then that particular relationship, in accordance with Okoye, probably is going to be the plot of the Disney Plus Wakanda series. So that's setting up a whole nother series, which this movie I feel like set up a couple Disney Plus series and another movie. So that's just.
Well, let's talk about the anti-hero, the antagonist of this film. What do you think about the introduction of Namor or Namor?
Namor. I thought the way that they handled the character and where he comes from and how his people became underwater people.
Yeah.
I think they handled that story great. My guy that played Namor, I think he did a phenomenal job. I thought the winged feet in the trailers, I thought that shit was a little goofy. But in the context of the movie, seeing him like stop on a dime in mid-air, like I think this character was done so well, so well.
And salute to our brothers and sisters of the Hispanic culture.
Yes.
They really have been singing the praises of this, which I can imagine if you were like someone that was African and you seen like these things being portrayed on screen and they're doing it correctly, because it seems like they do a lot of research.
Oh yeah.
They don't shortchange with the ethnicity and ethnic the history, the markings. Like they don't play for that. They don't play around. So it's good to see that, and it's good to see that in the on a big broad screen like that. But getting back to the character, I think the actor acted his ass off.
Big facts.
That mattered to
Big
me.
facts.
And whenever they provided context to his character, the history of his people, the reason why he's king even, and how long he's been living, all that stuff, it makes sense.
It makes so much sense, man. It makes so much sense. And it's funny because watching the evolution of what Talakan is, right?
Yeah.
Like how they became a people and all that good stuff. Talakan is basically the water Wakanda. Like it's Aqua Wakanda. Aqua Wakanda. Like that shit's so funny.
Everybody down there brown.
they got their own civilization. They got their own salute, which of course I'm immediately going like Kamehameha or Hadouken. But apparently it's supposed to be a shark. I heard somebody say it's supposed to be a shark. I don't know.
I don't know nothing.
But yeah, they got their own symbolism. Like the parallels between the two, like the two nations is really uncanny. And the fact that Wakanda even learned about Talakan
The way that they did,
like it almost kind of diminishes what Wakanda is, which is insane.
It's like they prided themselves on being this country that has something that nobody else has, and they oftentimes it became identity crisis. Like that's what we got. Y'all not us. Yep. We got a vibranium in our clothes. Well, hey, there's some people under the sea that got that too. Man, it's just it's a meteorite hit somewhere else too. So it kind of defeats what they thought about religion. Yep. And that kind of feeds to Shuri's things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she believed in science. Science is science. I don't believe in none of that other stuff. But when T'Challa was dying, she was like, "Boss, if you get my brother out of this, I might come to church on Sunday." Like,
which is crazy because that's real life shit, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people, we go through something similar to that. Maybe not particularly the losing a loved one, but getting out of certain situations. Maybe that's the time you really pray the most and things like that. So that was really relatable seeing Shuri go through that, right?
Yeah. But no, man, Wakanda went through it. This movie, sheesh,
it's crazy because at the end of the first Black Panther, it ended with T'Challa opening up the borders to the world, right? Clearly, that was a terrible idea. Clearly, because they didn't have people, they didn't have governments and countries try to come for vibranium heavy since then, right? Even capturing the French soldiers and bringing them to the UN, like, hey, we hear y'all saying we weak because our Black Panther not here, but this y'all people.
We still us though.
Come on now.
That's the other thing,
man.
Let me ask you about this. Right, it's got two. It's gonna lead to another point. But how did you feel when Namor flooded the throne room and then Queen Ramona dies?
That's the part where I cried.
Okay, fair enough.
That's the part where I cried because seeing Ramona and Shuri up until that point, like the grief that they have been handling, as well as trying to go through the day-to-day life of everything. Shuri just coming back from Talokan after having that hard conversation with Namor, like, I know you want to burn down the world, but I can't help you do that, my boy. So, and then Nakia coming to rescue her, which we knew that was gonna happen, but he saw that as an act of war, right?
Hold on, time out, man.
Oh, my bad.
Nakia.
Oh, come on. Talk about it.
Hey,
Talk
man.
about it. Say less.
Hey, man.
Say less.
Hey, Lupita, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name.
Nyong'o.
That thing was thangin'.
That thing was thangin'. That thing was sitting, boy.
Sitting tough. But that's that kind of feeds into what we're going to talk about at the end.
Man, I was about to say.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
That's why that's why we had that.
But I just wanted to point that out. I was like, hey, yo.
That's so funny. But Ramona dying, after everything that had happened up until that point, I did not expect. That was the curveball. Man, what?
That was the curveball for sure.
So yeah, that on top of me not expecting it to happen, the fact that it actually happened and seeing Shuri grieve the way she did in the moment,
I know it was a lot. And then she died in a heroic moment, saving Riri Williams because. Let's get to this. Namor said, "Hey, you're the queen now." Flew off. Hey, yo, savage, my boy.
Man, what?
But this is the thing, right? Now, Shuri is grieving. She has to bury the last of her family, her mother too. She was like the last person in the world that knows me best. Kanye West stuff, right? So after that, she gets in the mindset, I'm gonna make this horse-shaped bird. She got it popping. She got the horse-shaped bird popping, right? Artificial, right? Because of the bracelet that Namor gave her as a peace offering. Yes. But she went to the ancestral plane.
Woo!
And who do we get?
Oh my God.
Okay.
So I'm on record, probably multiple episodes of this podcast saying, don't put Killmonger in this shit. I know that for a fact because in my brain I went into the movie saying the same shit. Shuri takes the heart-shaped herb. She goes to the ancestral plane, which her version of it is in the throne room in Wakanda. Who do we see? Goddamn Killmonger.
Her cousin.
Now,
after the exchange, how did you feel how did that work for you?
I thought it made perfect sense.
Okay.
I thought it made perfect sense.
Okay.
I was wrong. This is the only way to bring Killmonger back in part 2 of Black Panther.
Okay.
I think they did a great job because in the moment, Shuri has nothing but rage in her heart. She wants to go kill Namor, and who better to who better for her to see than the same person who's actually a family member of hers that was on the same type of time? Because you're not going to be able to even really fight against Namor if you're not on that type of time. Because he's savage.
Exactly.
He's savage.
Exactly.
I was like, damn.
I love it, man. But it's so much about this film, and we'll have to, it's so much to talk about because we talking about 2 hours and 40 minutes.
41.
All right, so let's just talk about the progressions of characters, right?
Yeah.
You have M'Baku.
Yes.
Who's undoubtedly still the king of the Jabari tribe, or at least the leader, or whatever they call that.
Yeah.
And then he makes progressions throughout the film where it looks like he's undoubtedly king now. What do you think about that?
I'm not necessarily mad at it. I feel like at the end of the movie, Shuri, clearly she's Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
But Black Panther and the throne are not synonymous. Because even in Civil War, T'Challa was Black Panther, but T'Chaka was still the king, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I assume Shuri was just like, M'Baku, because he did play some type of like guidance figure to her throughout this movie.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they had a conversation off camera where Shuri was like, you know what? I'm gonna continue to be Black Panther, but as far as ruling, my heart is not in the right place right now. There's still a lot of grieving and healing I need to do. So go ahead, take it. So
you got it.
I'm not really mad at that.
Yeah,
because and M'Baku seems like a fit leader
now,
for Wakanda now,
because his character arc compared to where he was in the first Black Panther to now, he's ready.
Word. I feel that.
And other progression of characters, right? You have an up and down with Okoye's character. She's actually, you would say, leader of she's a Midnight Angel, but in the comic books, there's a subsection of the Dora Milaje where they're called the Midnight Angels. They go on special missions and all kind of stuff.
Right.
So you got her and Anika, blue suited up outside with it, right?
Getting it.
So what do you think about Okoye not being the general anymore?
It's funny because her Okoye's character arc is actually the opposite of Shuri's. So Shuri not really looking into like the spiritual aspect and serving Wakanda and all that kind of stuff, but Okoye is completely on the opposite spectrum.
That's her shit.
That's her shit. She rolls her spear to her husband in the name of Wakanda. She followed Killmonger because he was on the throne in the name of Wakanda, right? So when she lost Shuri, when Shuri got kidnapped, Shuri and Riri got kidnapped, she went back to the queen, I failed, allow me to go back and get her, got her whole shit stripped. Give me your spear. And she pleaded, she begged, like, I've given everything to this country. Like,
have I not given everything?
Man, what?
That's a fire it's like, now, this is the thing. That was in the trailer. I was like, oh, all right. Like,
different
but
in the context
it hit
of the
different
movie, yeah.
in the context. I was like,
facts.
woo.
That's facts.
Because I didn't know she was talking about Shuri.
Right.
I didn't know she was talking about Shuri.
So, even with that, with her kind of rebuilding her life post Dora Milaje, seeing her talk to Nakia, still seeing her serve her country when Talokan came and invaded Wakanda.
She was
still with it. So, and even Shuri coming back to her at the end, giving her the Midnight Angel armor. Like,
and then her breaking out Agent Ross, and then she's getting her own show.
Yeah.
So it makes sense now. Yeah. I didn't remember she was getting a show.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it was a quick mention. Like,
I actually like that she's getting a show. Now that makes sense.
Yeah,
because you had proper character arcs throughout the films. Well, you know what, we can say that about Hawkeye, so never mind. never mind.
Well, Hawkeye's not that interesting.
He's
Okoye is interesting as hell.
Okoye is, and then like she has to do her fighting stunts. And
Man,
stuff.
what?
Like, Okoye be
she was going crazy. Hey,
now the fighting?
Yeah, come on, no, I was going to get to it.
Hold on.
Yeah. Fish ready. But the fight, so all the fight scenes were amazing, especially like at the end where Shuri was in her Black Panther suit, like fighting the Talakanians on the side of the ship.
Yeah,
that was dope as hell. But the one-on-one fight between Okoye and the big
my boy on the bridge,
man.
Okoye was about to.
She was getting served.
Hey. I ain't never seen Okoye get served.
Man. That was such a good fight to me, and the payoff when she had on the armor at the end and fought him too, like, That was great.
But low key, the Wakandas was about to lose.
Oh man, what?
Until they showed up on the ship.
It was too many of them. It was too many.
Like Namor said when he first pulled up on Wakanda, he's like, "Hey, I got more soldiers than y'all got blades of grass."
Yo,
I said,
that's a
bar. And he meant
that's
it.
a bar
Because it's so many of them, and then you can't kill them.
Right. Well, Nakia killed the one lady with the shot.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the one.
Yeah, that's why they went and invaded Wakanda. But anyway.
All right. But okay. Too much praise. Anything like I think we kind of got to like nitpicks or anything that you didn't like. Was there anything that just like didn't work for you?
So this is a nitpick for me. The fact that I liked Namor's character kind of made me feel like a hypocrite because I didn't really care for Killmonger.
And they had the same ideology.
And I feel like
same ideology.
So the only difference, between the two, Namor was being proactive toward the world, and Killmonger was being reactive toward the world for what happened to him and his family.
Okay.
So that's the only difference, but idealistically, same fucking character.
That's why I was like, and that was it. I was just like,
same exact character, just on a grander scale. Like,
man, look, and let me tell you something. This the other thing too. I like cutting movies short. Like I'll cut it short. not the time aspect. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like a plot point. Right?
Yeah.
Man, if this was T'Chaka, if this was the granddaddy, Riri would have been done.
Man, what?
She would have been out of here.
He would have hung her.
He would have got up. He was like, "Oh, that's all you want?
Say less, my boy. Look.
Take it."
These are her braids. That's awful.
Man,
like, he would have went crazy.
He would have served her ass up in the suit.
Immediately.
Like, what you talking about?
God damn. Nah, that's crazy.
That's the only thing. I was like, oh. So hold on. We hold on to like, hey, it's like I feel like this. If Riri was maybe another, color,
I would have been out of here.
I would have been like, hey.
Would have been out of here. Like, hey, shit, this movie done.
Right,
hour, we good.
Cool.
This would have been
that's all you want, bro?
Special presentation.
You want something else? Like, you want a side of fries?
You know how parents be bronzing the baby shoes? They would have vibraniumed her head and offered that bitch up. I didn't mean it that way. But yeah, no, that's crazy.
Okay, real quick before we kind of get to like our overall score of the film, we got to talk about this after credit scene.
Yes.
Why I'm drawing blank. Shuri is sitting.
I was
on the
like,
beach.
wait, what happened?
In Haiti, I couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
Shuri was sitting on the beach in Haiti.
That's funny.
And she was burning her ceremonial robe, thinking about her brother. That was the in the mourning period of her brother.
Yeah.
So she's sitting on the beach, having this moment, shedding a few tears. And then the kid pulls up with a child and says that this is me and T'Challa's son. Little T'Challa Jr., T'Challa the second. TJ, right. TJ. Or is it the third? No, T'Challa Jr., too. Because the daddy was named T'Challa.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So what did you think about this reveal?
First of all, I was like, oh, snap, they had a kid. But then, like, thinking deeper into it, right, Shuri, she finally got to a place where she could burn her ceremonial robes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she got to a point where she felt like she could move forward from losing her brother and her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Basically saying, I have no, like, actual biological family left, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have T'Challa Jr. coming in. And now the legacy of what their family would be will not die with Shuri. And I think in that moment, like you could see in her face, like the initial shock of it, but then coming to terms like, oh, great, like now I don't have to grieve as much as I was before because now the legacy of my brother and my family is here now. So. Yeah. I thought it was great.
I don't know. Yeah, it was a great moment. Now that probably was the one that probably made me want to cry more than Ramona. Like, no, because like in grief, man, you look for something to hold on to the person that you lost, and goddamn, now you got kids around. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I looked at it. I think it's like something for us as the viewer. Like that's the only reason I think they put him in here. I don't think he's going to be a young Avenger. I don't think he's going to be Black Panther because he's too young. Like, we got to do time jump. Like, now, the MCU ain't against time jump.
Facts.
Like, but if we talking about young Avengers, which could come very, very soon, he's not a part of that. Because they teenage. They already got their suits and stuff.
It's true.
Like, we going about Ant-Man. Ant-Man daughter got a suit already.
Right. In
So
the trailer. That's crazy.
Little T'Challa can't be a part of that. He's 6.
Shit, he is young as hell.
He's young. That's what I'm saying. Like, so we got to do time jumps for him to even, be something bigger than what he is right now. That's my point.
So I agree. I'm in agreement with that, right? Mm-hmm. But this is the MCU.
Yeah.
We are.
Oh no.
We are in the multiverse.
I feel like this. T'Challa lives on in the MCU. That's how that looks. Now, if they want to, but even if you get a Black Panther 3, he's gonna be a teenager at the most.
Well, true, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. So like in Endgame, right? We got a 5-year time jump. So technically, Wakanda Forever is happening like 2026 or some shit like that.
Well,
so
now I hear you because like this is pretty much based on time anyway. Like this whole thing. So, but at least in this multiverse or this verse or whatever, right? He's 6. Like that's all I got. He's 6. He's a kid.
Black Panther 3 might not come out to 2030.
Man.
By that time, he'll probably be our age. Shit,
man, I don't know, bro. But I mean,
oh, that's funny.
All in all, the movie was very thorough, very enjoyable. I enjoyed the writing. I enjoyed the acting. Nothing was really lacking, and that was always my gripe. I was like, hey, we need everybody. Word. But I think that they made it work with what they had. The writing, like I keep saying, this writing was phenomenal because
my God, it was so good.
Thinking about what I just been dealing with Thor and
the whole
Black Widow,
the whole Phase 4.
I don't really want to shit on the Eternals that bad when it comes to like writing. Like I thought it was okay. Mm-hmm. Not something I really want to watch again, but it's okay.
But do you think? So now that Phase 4 is done, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think Wakanda Forever is the best project in?
It's not even close. It's better than Spider-Man 2. It's not even close.
Okay.
Because, if people want to use the argument, it's like, Spider-Man was like, what pulled us in was nostalgia. Yeah. But outside of that, we ain't really talking about that movie. Like, outside of that, like, outside of the 3 getting on screen, it ain't nothing to really do.
The purpose of that movie, the purpose of No Way Home, was to bring the other 2 Spider-Man back because of the multiverse shit. Yep. And to basically restart Peter Parker's arc in the MCU. Only reason for that movie. The only reason. Yeah.
So I guess we go with another out of 5 type of rating. Johnny, what do you have for this film?
Now this is strictly off of one watch. Okay. I could go back and watch it again this weekend and change my whole shit. Mm-hmm. But off of one watch, I'm going 4. 4 OSs out of 5. 4 O's out of 5? I don't know. What you got, Ralph?
The recency bias, man. Man, fuck it. 4.5. Man.
I'm
jumping out there. Because I had so much in me about this film. Yeah. I gotta give it this flower, so I gotta get 4.5. Listen. Because remember me, I was over
there. Oh no, I know. Oh, I know.
Put him in the movie. Like
write it. I remember.
Hey, don't get too cocky. All them shits is trash before then. So that's why I was like that.
Mean? All the trailers?
No, all the movies.
Oh yeah.
All the movies and shows. That's why I was acting up.
No cockiness.
Don't get too cocky.
I ain't no cockiness. They mentioned him. They was like, where is he now? So they mentioned him. So Now he will probably show up in the 3rd one, or maybe even the Disney Plus show. Who knows?
I don't know. Wakanda getting a show. Okoye getting her own show. I don't know. It's a lot going on.
It's a lot
going on. But I'm going to give it 4.5.
And then...
Because I need to watch it again for my opinion to change for it to go down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nothing to ever be a 5. It'll never be a 5. MCU movies can't be 5s to me. I'm sorry.
Damn.
They like... No,
not even Infinity War?
No.
Really?
No.
Damn, that's crazy.
It's too many plot holes in Marvel films. Okay. Compared to a real movie.
I'm not debating. I'm just saying. That's crazy.
Infinity War is not a 5. We're not going to do that.
Okay. The last thing that we didn't really get into was Riri Williams. So they set up her arc as a MIT student. Yeah. She went back to Chicago at the end of the movie. Yeah. She's getting her own Disney Plus series this year. In 2023. Okay. So I think that's from what I read today, that's going to be a direct sequel to Wakanda Forever. So it's going to pick up directly from her going leaving Wakanda, going back to Chicago. So I'm interested to see what that's going to be about because she didn't leave with the armor. Of course, she could build another suit, but she didn't leave with the armor.
You're not leaving with this vibranium.
Nah, you can't do it. Can't do it. So I'm really interested. I'm really interested in it now after seeing the movie. So. I think it's gonna be dope, but only time will tell. So
yes, sir.
Shout out to Wakanda Forever, man.
Hey, man, we have clearly reached the end of this docket. We appreciate you guys for listening to us ramble and go over all this stuff. Johnny, what do you have for the people?
Hey, if you're on YouTube, we appreciate you for rocking with us this long. Hit that like button, subscribe button, hit the notification bell so when we drop new joints, you can get them. Share this with your people. Hit the comment section. Let us know about any of the topics.
You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.